welcome to the first installment of the Miles and Danny Show. I'm Danny, and that's Miles, and we are very excited to get started.
I think I speak for both of us when I say that I'm very excited to be a host of this here TV show, and it's a great opportunity.
So as always, what comes with a new school year is some new faces at the school, whether it be administration, teachers, students, etc. We went ahead and interviewed our new athletic director, Mr. Umbrianna, and he had a few things to say. All right, so we're here with the new athletic director, Mr. Umbrianna. We have a couple questions.
Not a problem.
So can you tell us a little bit about your background to becoming the new athletic director?
Yeah, so it all kind of started, I started as an assistant athletic director over at Archbishop Williams High School, and I was there for 3 years. I also worked as a physical education teacher. I didn't know much about teaching at that point, so it was kind of more so let's grab dodgeballs and play dodgeball. But then from there, I did get my master's in athletic administration from Ohio University, and got the interim athletic director position last year at Weymouth High School. And after this position opened up, I interviewed a couple rounds here and was lucky enough to land the AD position here.
All right. So how much involvement have you had personally as the new athletic director in the new field development?
So Mr. Levette kind of started the whole stretch with the new field project and whatnot. So I started about in end of June, early July, and I've been attending every meeting since then. We have one every Wednesday morning, and so I've been involved. The whole project itself was already kind of set in stone. I've added in a couple different pieces that I would like to see done to it, and I had a pretty big say as far as like the concession stand, what it's going to look like, and all that stuff. So, I would say overall I've been pretty involved from about beginning of July on until this point.
Is there any team specifically that you think will benefit the most, or is it going to be basically equally benefit?
I think it's going to be anyone that uses a turf field. So both of our cross country and track programs, outdoor track, are going to benefit significantly from it. Anyone that uses the turf field, I think, is going to benefit significantly. I would say if there was one team, it would probably be field hockey. I know their field right now is in kind of tough shape, and I remember walking over the field, and my first thought was that varsity, we're not going to be able to get any games at home, and they're playing all their games away. Whereas football as well, playing a game all away, but both soccers are still at home, and so everyone's going to benefit. But I would say football and field hockey both having to play away all year long, I would give them the edge as far as them benefiting the most. And I think baseball and softball in the spring are going to benefit significantly from being able to play on a turf field. Having to reschedule games in the spring is not fun with the rain. And any sort of rain, softball and baseball, that game's going to be a wash. So turf, it at least allows them to play. So those two as well.
So when you were hired in late June, early July, did you immediately see any big significant problems with our athletics?
I wouldn't say large, significant problems. I think there were a couple, minor issues that I did want to change right off the bat, and I think it all kind of stems with, the communication piece and just, how things were run in the past. And change happens every year, but, I think, credit to Mr. Louette for having to do both positions, as assistant principal and athletic director. There are some days I don't even think I can do this job by myself, and he was balancing two of them.
And finally, do you have any big things in store for the future as of now?
Yeah, a lot of big things coming up, and especially this year, getting into the year. I'm not going to try and do too much, but we are going to start a captain's council, which I am very excited about, where we're going to get all of our fall captains, during the fall season together, meet once a week, discuss different topics with regards to high school athletics and just high school in general. And each week will be a different topic, and we'll roll into the next two seasons with the captains of those, and build off of that from year one. As far as big projects coming in, the next couple of years, I do have a plan. I would like to see an increase of opportunity in athletic teams and participation. I know rugby's been talked about. We've talked about adding in a girls golf team. So a couple different opportunities in the different seasons that I definitely want to grow. And then obviously, like you said, 4 or 5 years down the road, my 5-year plan is we do want to get brand new locker rooms, new workout facility, So those are in the works within the next couple of years, which we are very excited about.
All right, sounds very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Here with Mr. Umbrianna, the new athletic director at Situate High School, and we have some questions here for him, getting to know you outside of the athletic director role. So, what is a fun fact that you would like to share with the rest of the school?
Fun fact that I would like to share is, before I got into this field as an athletic director, I did work right in college and out of college at KISS 108 and JAMA 94.5. I did a bunch of stuff, about 5-6 years I worked there. Did everything from internship there all the way to on-air stuff at nighttime. I met a lot of cool artists, and it was a job I missed a lot.
Who would you say was the coolest person you met while working at those radio stations?
Coolest person I met, believe it or not, because it will surprise a lot of people, just from the guy's lyrics himself, was probably Tyga. Believe it or not, I had a conversation with him for about an hour, and he was the most down-to-earth, coolest guy I've ever met. And I've met a lot of people. I met the Justin Biebers, Nicki Minaj, Ed Sheeran. But I would say, believe it or not, because I don't know too many of his songs, but I've heard a couple of his lyrics, and believe it or not, he is the coolest guy I've met.
I thought that was really interesting, the part about the radio work especially. I mean, obviously it's also good to hear about the plans that he has for the future of SHS sports.
Yeah, he's a great person with an awesome story, and I can't wait to see how it goes.
Now, anyone who drives to school in the morning has noticed the traffic issues that have arisen with the new start times for the middle school. They're only 5 minutes apart between the middle school and the high school. We woke up extra early one morning to go hit First Parish Road and investigate this issue.
Okay, so we are here early on a Thursday morning. A couple students have been rolling in, a couple students from Gates have been dropped off. What we're here to investigate is the traffic on First Parish in the morning a problem. Let's go down there and find out. Okay, so we're here, it's approximately 7:50. There's a little bit of traffic that way, but there's a lot more traffic this way, as you can see. So let's walk down there and see what's going on. Okay, so you probably saw some traffic? Did you?
Yeah, I definitely saw some traffic.
Did it take longer than it would have last year, do you think?
Oh, definitely, yeah. It's pretty backed up.
Right.
Through the gates, I think.
How's the traffic?
It wasn't that good on First Parish, but I'd say in the parking lot was fine.
On the first day, it was really, really bad, and then since then it's been average, about like what it was last year, like 5 minutes. It's not that bad.
No, I disagree completely. I think it's been absolutely awful. The buses park right there, so that forces all the traffic that way. And one day I was trying to get to my soccer game, unexpecting me, and I got there 15 minutes late because I was stuck in there, and there was a line of traffic from Ronnie Shones all the way to the big gym. It's unacceptable.
We decided to hit the senior calf to get some opinions.
Tucker, how long do you think you spent in traffic this morning?
Not long. Maybe a minute, 2 minutes.
Is there a problem to be fixed, do you say?
I feel like whatever we do, there's always going to be some sort of problem with the amount of cars that come in. The two schools combined double the traffic.
So yeah, me and Katie have to leave at our house is at 7:30 to get here before the car riders and the middle school, because the middle school is a pain in
the middle school loop there's always a long line.
Yeah, I come from Beaver Dam, and in the intersection before Ronnie Shones is always backed up, and then you have to wait after the intersection, and then when you pull in, there's a line at the Gates loop, so then you can't even go to a parking spot.
Okay, well I live 2 minutes away, so it doesn't matter, and I get here early, but when I'm leaving school, the parents come to the senior parking lot, and they are awful drivers. One lady did a 3-point turn while I was driving, and in front of me just pulled out, and I laid on my horn and I flipped her off, but it was such an awful experience.
Juniors, when you're leaving the junior lot, don't expect me to stop and let you go, because I'm not going to let you go.
All right, so from that experience, I don't really see the traffic as a whole big issue because we have the privilege to drive to school, so you shouldn't be complaining about a little bit of traffic in the morning. I see getting out is a little more difficult than getting in.
I thought it was kind of interesting, honestly, that not that many people had an opinion on this. We talked to a good 3 or 4 people who really didn't seem to care at all, and with the amount of things that kids seem to like to complain about. It was, I don't know, struck me as interesting.
All right, so starting off, both the boys and girls soccer teams have been dominant. The girls soccer team is 3-2. They most recently played Pembroke, and the boys soccer team is still undefeated, recently beating Silver Lake 4-0, which is pretty impressive because they're highly ranked in the state.
They tied Nauset earlier in the year too.
Yeah, and I think they lost like 4 games in the last 4 years or something like that. It's insane.
Nauset's good.
Soccer state champs next year.
Situate football will be taking on Plymouth South this Friday night in Plymouth South. This will be the first league game of the year for the Sailors. The Patriots face off against the lowly Jets this weekend in what figures to be a bloodbath. The Jets are down to their 3rd string quarterback. Yikes.
Luke Falk.
The Bruins, they're still in the preseason obviously, but take a look at this save by Yaroslav Halak. Whoa. Pretty sick. The Red Sox are awful. It'll all be over soon.
Going back to some local sports, the boys cross-country team hasn't won in over 10 years.
The last time they won, Michael Jackson was alive.
All right, that's it for sports. Let's get into What's Poppin' with Hayden and our intern, Chris.
What's poppin', folks? It's me, Hayden Startzell.
And I'm Chris, the intern.
Yep. And today we're going to be talking about some pop culture stuff. So Chris, what do you have for us?
All right, so you all know popular Bronx rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine, you know, Treyway. And you know how he's being arrested? He's being indicted for 9 counts of racketeering. I don't even know.
Racketeering, it's like messing with the stock market or something. Is that wrong? It's probably wrong.
I'm sure he's done worse than that,
oh,
but
yes,
it's what he's being held accountable for. But he pleaded not guilty, and he won't be sentenced until 2020, but he's facing 47 years in prison. So he's discussing a plea deal with the prosecutors of his case to give disclosed information on multiple violent people associated with the same criminal enterprise, which is basically the corrupt music industry, probably more associated with rap. And he's basically snitching on everybody. He snitched out his entire crew, pretty much, allegedly. Trippie Redd, I think, was thrown around in there. But most recently, he's been snitching out Cardi B for being a blood, being associated with the blood gang. And he said that Cardi is associated with the 9 Trey Gangsters, or Treyway, you know. But she did not deny being a blood, but she did deny being associated with Treyway. And she actually named what actual association she's with, and that's the Bloodhound Brims. So she actually specified what she actually did.
Yeah.
But it was in a deleted tweet. She said, "You said it yourself, Brim, not 9 Trey. I've never been 9 Trey or associated with them." So she is a blood, but she's not associated with 9 Trey. That's just the most savage rebuttal that you can have for that.
That's Cardi B for you.
That's Cardi B.
Yeah. In other news, the Area 51 raid is today when we're filming this, September 20th, and it seems that nothing's really happened yet. There's a group of people that are outside, one of them waving a North Korea flag for some reason, and basically, the official event on Facebook has been canceled and has been moved to some sort of music festival that the original person is trying to start with it. But there are still people gathered around in Nevada, right? Nevada's where
that's Area 51.
Yeah. Nevada, yeah. And so we'll see what happens, in the other news, and we'll update you on the story because people have been following the Area 51 raids for months now since the meme began.
Kind of died down, but now it's picking back up since it's happening. So.
We'll see what goes on.
We'll tell you what's popping.
If you are seeing this right now, this means that you watched the Miles and Denny Show, episode 1. For that, I thank you. We'll see you next week.
Sexy. That was pretty good. Thank you.
Traveling in a fried-out combi on a hippie trailhead full of zombies. I met a strange lady, she made me nervous. She took me in and gave me breakfast. And she said, do you come from a land down under, where women go and men wonder? Can't you hear the thunder? You better run, you better take cover.